Hey everybody, it's time for another episode of NHL Remember Him. This is episode 41, and today we're going to be looking at the career of a longtime NHL winger who is one of the quintessential power forwards of the 2000s, a huge leader in the locker room, and a Dallas Stars legend. It's Brenden Morrow. Before we get into it, I just ask that you please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. Both of those things help the channel so much and are greatly appreciated. But let's get started here looking at the career of Brenden Morrow, left winger, drafted in the first round, 25th overall by the Dallas Stars in 1997. And he went on to play 991 career games in the NHL, scoring 265 goals, 310 assists for 575 points, a plus 107 career rating. And he also had over 1,300 penalty minutes in his career, was not afraid to drop the gloves, was not afraid to throw the body around and play physically as well. He was a true power forward. On top of his regular season statistics, he played 118 career playoff games, scoring 19 goals, 27 assists for 46 points and an even rating on the dot. He is best known for his time with the Dallas Stars, the team that drafted him and he eventually became captain of. He played with Dallas from 1999 through 2012, spending the large majority and early part of his career with Dallas. And then in 2012-2013, he was traded at the deadline to the Pittsburgh Penguins to try and go chase a Stanley Cup. Pittsburgh, unfortunately, that year lost in the conference finals. He then played with the St. Louis Blues in 2013-14, and then his final NHL season, again chasing a Stanley Cup, came with the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2014-2015, and as you know, Tampa Bay lost in the finals to Chicago in 2015, and that was it for Brenden Morrow. He came so close in his career multiple times, but just was not able to get his name etched on the cup. By the time he was called up by Dallas, it was the year after they had just won the Cup in 1999. His rookie season was 99-2000, so he just missed being a Stanley Cup winner by one season in Dallas. And then in Pittsburgh in 2013, the Penguins lost in the conference finals to the Boston Bruins. And then with Tampa Bay in 2015, he made it to the Cup finals, but lost in the finals to Chicago and was never able to raise that cup, even though he came close multiple times throughout his career. But nonetheless, Brenden Morrow was a great player, one of my favorites growing up. I certainly remember him very, very well. All the way back in the mid-2000s when he was captain of the Stars, and then obviously I remember him leaving Dallas and trying to play in Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Tampa Bay, just trying to find that Stanley Cup, but not able to do so. By the time you got towards the end of his career, like his final year in Tampa Bay, he was a fourth liner at that point. He was even a depth player when he went to Pittsburgh and St. Louis as well, but during his peak with Dallas, he had some 30-goal seasons. He had some 50-plus, 60-plus point seasons, and he always brought a physical impact as well, as he was very much a quintessential power forward type player, was not afraid to drop the gloves, was not afraid to get involved physically and throw his weight around, and a huge, huge leader in the locker room as well, as, this was a guy who wore the C in Dallas for a number of years and was always looked up to and a strong veteran presence everywhere that he went. So I absolutely loved Brenden Morrow growing up. He was never quite as offensively good as, say, Jarome Iginla, but a very similar style of player. Somebody who was a top six winger, and was also not afraid to play the physical side of the game and get involved with that, and really was a pure power forward. Obviously, Jarome Iginla is one of my favorite all-time players in NHL history, and Brenden Morrow was a similar style player, just never reached the offensive heights that Jarome Iginla did, but was kind of molded in the same way with the style of play that he played. So that obviously made him, another favorite of mine because of the way that he played. So I was always a big fan of Morrow. I kind of hoped that he was going to get a cup at some point especially towards the end of his career. But he came close, but was never able to be on a team that finished it off. But nonetheless, he had a great NHL career. He had over almost 1,000 games played, over 500 career points, over 1,300 career penalty minutes, and was a impact player for a long time in the league, and was a great guy to have in the locker room as well. So I was always a big fan of Morrow. And he was a fun guy to watch going through the years, and someone who really solidified the 2000s power forward style of play. But that is the career of Brenden Morrow. Definitely a guy worth remembering, and somebody that some of you might be just remember the end of his career. If you go back to the mid 2000s and even late 2000s, he was a force for Dallas. So Definitely a guy that had some great NHL seasons and put together a very solid career. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon, merchandise store, donation link, and channel memberships are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys soon.